Hello everybody, welcome to week 2 of this semester or this winter session. In week 2 we have 2 main lesson plans to complete. Lesson plan 3 was to be completed either week 1 or 2, and I've already talked about that one. Let's move to lesson plan 4 and 5. Of all the lesson plans for the semester, I would think that Hinduism might be the most difficult for you, especially if you don't have an Eastern background in any way. Hinduism is the most difficult because there's no founder of the tradition. Hinduism, like other religions that have founders like Buddhism, even Jainism, like Sikhism, Hinduism just lacks that. Hinduism goes back 5,000 years in Indian history, and it is a collection of all these different approaches to the infinite. It's very complex, diverse, multiple branches. There's some common core ideas that Hindus believe in, like karma and reincarnation and meditation, and transcendence and so forth. We're caught in this cycle of birth and death. They call that samsara. But there is also a wide variety of differences within Hinduism. And so to say there is such a thing as Hinduism, like it's one complete religion, would be inaccurate. Okay, so when you open up Hinduism, I kind of have a little note to you explaining it's one of the hardest lesson plans of the term, and I apologize for that. But then I move to a small little lecture and then an optional lecture. And this optional lecture is 13 minutes, but it adds a lot of clarity. This one's mine, and this is another professor's, but I offer it to you just to add further clarity. I do have 3 lecture notes to open up, so I've really given you a lot of information on Hinduism. And the first one is the one that students tell me is the most helpful, where Hinduism, the history is broken up to 6 time periods, and the main ideas of each time period are explained. Okay, so if you click through and read that, that should help a lot. Okay, and notes on Hinduism, just clicking really quick. Hinduism, you see a lot of 4s of Hinduism. There's 4 stages of life. There's 4 cycles of time. There's 4 goals or objectives of life. There's just 4 main castes, so I explain all of that in there as well. Okay, in each religion, you'll see at the bottom of, after the lecture, you'll see a section called music, and it's optional to listen to, but it really kind of sets the mood for the religion. There's Hindu chants, and Buddhism has the Buddhist chants as well. Christianity, I have it. Islam, I have it. Singing from the minarets. So it really adds a flavor to the class if you were to open those music links, but it's not required to. Okay, the required reading for Hinduism. There is the required main reading, okay, and it's quite thorough. And then the secondary reading offers a simpler, less in-depth view, but I also require this to spend half an hour to an hour reading that. And then this is 9 myths of Hinduism debunked, and it addresses very quickly in one page, just 9 misconceptions we have about Hinduism. And then I offer supplemental reading. And supplemental reading, I think you have pretty much too much for Hinduism already. That is not going to be something most of you will do. But BBC offers a website on the world religions, of which walks you through. I just didn't think it was as thorough for this particular religion, so I did not make it required. That one was just totally optional and supplementary. So the film for Hinduism, a little bit intense. There's no more than an hour. Let me walk you through these real quick. Houston Smith is a professor from UC Berkeley, and he's now retired, but just a little 5-minute where he does a very good job explaining it. This one is the main film, Video 2. It's a BBC documentary. It is 6 hours long. I am not assigning that. I'm only assigning a portion of it. And you watch it up into minute 40, and I usually try never to go over 30 minutes for my films. The reason it goes up to 40 minutes is the final scene is very important. Michael Wood, he's the guy down here, he's on a quest, and you find out is his quest met at the end of those 40 minutes. So that would be a required film. I have 2 sons, and they're both strong fans of John Green, his crash courses, and he's got some really good 10-minute crash courses on topics, and he does them on the world religions and different civilizations, and his brother Hank Green does them on science stuff as well. These crash courses are fun to watch, and so he has one on the Indus Valley, and the Indus Valley is the earliest Hindu civilization, and then he also has one explaining Hinduism and Buddhism together, and so that's also something that I wanted you to watch. So all together, if you add all of this up, it's 60 minutes. And the post question, imagine you're a Hindu, and then which idea of God would you follow? Which yoga would you follow? Which teacher would you follow? Which stage of life would you be at? What would your goal be at this time? What's your favorite religious text? So just addressing those all within a sentence or two would constitute your post. And what would your life be like if you were Hindu? And if you choose to do the other option, it would be to read Hindu literature. I give you two options here. The Bhagavad Gita, which is the most beloved of the Hindu text, 2,000-year-old text. It's written very poetically. It is actually itself a chapter of a larger Hindu text called the Mahabharata, but you would just be reading the Bhagavad Gita, and you wouldn't read all of it. You choose your favorite chapters, and it's 18 chapters. Choose your favorite 5, and it reads real quick in a few pages per chapter. Or, again, you can listen to chants of the Gita, or you could read the Upanishads. Some people like the more mystical approach, and I give you the Upanishads. And again, read for 30 minutes and choose your favorites. So let's click out of that for your post for the week. And then your exam question is there. Your exam question, again, has 4 sections or bullets. This is a little bit longer than a short paragraph probably, but I give you an outline of how to follow it. What is Hinduism? Define it. How it got its name? What are a few misconceptions? All straight from the reading. I even tell you where it's found in the reading. What are the historical origins? And discuss 2 of the ancient civilizations. And that would be the Indus Valley civilization and the Aryan Vedic civilization. What are the main beliefs in the fores of this religion? Again, who are the major teachers? There's 3 teachers that are described in the reading. And then, it's straightforward, and yet it's a little bit time consuming, this particular lesson plan. So I estimated it's more than 3 hours. This is the longest lesson plan for the term, 4 hours, at the most 5 hours. But I will make this worth a little bit more points because of the extra time you put into it. And then the next lesson plan is Jainism. Again, thankfully, a shorter lesson plan. Again, lecture and notes, the required reading for this one. There's this one page explaining ahimsa. The Jain religion is based on the concept of ahimsa, or nonviolence. It means compassion. There's also, I really like the Columbian University and Harvard University put together religious material, articles on the different religions, and this one on Jainism is very short and clear. And then there's a small reading on vegetarianism, and why would you read that for world religions class? Because many of the religions we're studying in the Eastern traditions have a vegetarian requirement. Not all of them, but many of them. There are many Buddhist vegetarians. The Hacienda Heights Buddhist Temple requires one to be vegetarian. The Jains, all Jains are vegetarians. Not just some Jains, but all Jains if you're practicing Jain. And many Sikhs are, not all Sikhs. Many Hindus are vegetarian, not all Hindus, but vegetarianism is a very important idea within the Eastern religions. And so a small little article explaining the vegetarian position. And then your films. This is the Ahimsa documentary, which is probably, I have favorites, and this is one of my favorites, definitely. A small introduction to Jainism, which is 6 minutes, published by Mount Sac. And then this is a congressman who ran for president, who himself was very much in respect of the Jains. So that would constitute this lesson plan, in a much shorter lesson plan than the Hindu one. And that would take you through week 2, and then week 3 would be starting Buddhism and Sikhism. I hope this helped you. And again, if you have any questions, post in the help forum. Thank you very much.